You all should get a message about the recording. Hold on. I will say we'll start here in just a second, but Lord, Alex, you have everybody showing up for you today, girl. This is awesome. We get these gals in too. Well, this is fun. If you girls aren't already muted, if you wouldn't mind doing that, that would help us out tons. Just because when we record, it creates an echo. Even if you think you're quiet, we can hear the shuffling of your papers even. It's so weird how we can't lie, but the recording we always can. Oh, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and start, and then I'll do kind of all the back office stuff while Alex is speaking. We have an amazing guest of honor today, our Alex Barker, and I'm so excited to hear from her because I've never had the privilege of hearing from her or meeting her. And thank you all to all you women that are referring people. And this is what I love about this is every division in Mary Kay, from the minute you sign your agreement all the way to national. It does not matter what walk of life you're in right now with Mary Kay or personal. But if you're new, this is recorded. It'll be on my YouTube channel. It's literally my name, Jennifer Lowe. Now we do have a Facebook group, and it's usually not till Friday evening, sometimes Saturday morning, that we get the recording on there. And if Alex has anything to share, she's more than welcome to post that on there. So my only request, as this thing is growing and apparently going international at this point, is please, 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 please hear my heart. Do not have 1,000 women privately message Alex. I'm sure she would love to get you whatever you need. And because they're so go give in doing that and doing this call and doing this training for everybody. It's not that we don't want that. It's just there's so many people on here now. And I know a lot of people are like going back to past ones and they're trying to message. And I'm like, girl, I don't know. We've been doing this for almost 3 years now. I would love to help you. I always say scroll through Facebook, and if it's not on there, and it was a time that we didn't have our Facebook group, it's just a lot, and we're all working our seminar goals, right? And so if there's anything to share, we will, along with this recording, we will attach it to the Facebook stuff. And just, it's not, just hear my heart on that, because I get a lot of messages too, but I don't mind that. But I just don't want our speakers to have to, because they're just so gracious and so go give to take their time and feed into all of us. Truly the go give spirit in Mary Kay. And I know Mary Kay Ash would be so proud for our women that are doing that and taking time to share. Because I don't know, some of you might not have a national anymore like I do and be go give, and maybe you haven't found your, I don't know, your Mary Kay family yet. And so this may be it. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And we have the amazing Alex Barker is going to take over and train with us today. And Alex, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing this and being so willing to take your time. I know you're busy, and fuel into all the beautiful women in Mary Kay, because, well, you didn't have to do that. And that's what I want everyone to know. She gets absolutely nothing out of doing this other than, I don't know, sometimes paychecks of the heart, right? And I just really, really appreciate that. And I cannot wait to hear from you and get to know you better. And I just deeply appreciate you, my friend. And I'm going to let you take over.
Okay, well, thank you. And Jennifer, thank you for kind of giving us this platform to come together. I am in the national area now. And so even though we have amazing friends and mentors, it's just nice to hear from people who aren't in your seminar or a director meeting that you might be, or a unit meeting that you're able to be in. So I do appreciate it. And it is rather humbling. I'm just going to throw that out there. So my Mary Kay story really unfolds as someone that was a consultant for almost 24 years before deciding to step into leadership. position of like any kind, like senior consultant, like anything, 24 years. So for those of you who may think that it's, it's been too long to throw your heart over the line and go for it, or if you're a director and you have consultants in your unit that are your steady eddies, but aren't quite where you know they could be, I want to give you both hope. So I'm going to share a piece of my story and then some strategy that kind of helped me make that pivot for more. I originally joined Mary Kay to have something just for me. I had stepped away from the corporate world after having our first child, and there was a piece of me that missed the business world. I certainly didn't miss the hours, but I missed the feeling of what my work did for my brain and my sense of accomplishment. I loved the Mary Kay products and had really used them on and off since middle school, thanks to my mom. She was not in the pink world, but she was a client. We had just moved to a new state with a 6-week-old, and so I was away from everything that was familiar, and honestly, I felt alone. About 6 months later, I went to a meeting and I fell in love with the encouraging atmosphere, feeling a part of something bigger than myself and the possibility of making a little cash every month to help with date night. And then over years, my business slowly began to grow. I love the flexibility to work in different seasons, from the littles to the middles, caring for aging parents, as well as knowing in certain seasons I really could hit the pause button on growth while cultivating my clients that I had with just great customer service. So the beauty I found with Mary Kay was the ability to choose from the buffet of what I wanted or needed in whatever capacity that looked like, and knowing that I was valued and I made a difference with my clients in my unit, national area at the time, and the company, that I really was a part of something bigger than myself. I was perfectly happy where I was with my business for a really long time. And we moved numerous times and had more kids. And then my heart began to hear a little whisper about looking at the possibilities of leadership. I quieted the whisper for more years than I really care to tell you. And then in the fall of 2019, the whisper got louder, and it was getting a lot harder to quelch. In January of 2020, I was at a meeting with my fabulous adopted director at the time, and she was talking about a vision board and planning your year. And I inwardly groaned, because I always thought a vision board was hokey, because I had made one like 20 years previous and nothing ever came of it. So I made that the reason of not making another one. So let me just put a side note here. I never actually worked towards anything on that vision board because I hadn't given it much thought. I hadn't put any plan into it. I hadn't searched my heart about what I might want to put on my vision board. It was really more what I thought others would want me to put on a vision board. However, in many ways, I'm a rule follower. So I went home and began to dream about what my vision board would look like. So I sat quietly for a bit and I let my heart and my mind wander. And one of my first thoughts was to take my husband to Hawaii. We had always wanted to go, and we were now empty nesters. Our last had entered college the previous fall. So I sat with that a little longer and decided I could get behind that. And I knew it would take intention and working differently, because I already contributed a certain amount of money to the household budget every month, and this would need to be on top of that. So I did some research, the trip, the experiences that I wanted us to have, and then so I broke it down monthly and then weekly to have a track to run on. Because you can't hit a target if you don't know where to aim. It needs to be measurable and trackable. I closed my eyes and I began to dream a little more. What would Christmas morning look like when I presented this gift to my husband? So for a moment, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and allow me to share a piece of my vision and how that created this fire and passion and ignited my work. And then I'll dive into some strategy after that. So to start, go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to picture a living room with a tree, all decorated, and presents underneath, sitting on the couch, handing husband his gift. You remember those first cute boxes that we were able to buy on Section 2 that came in a trio of sizes, It was the largest box, and I had tied it with a soft pink bow. He looks at me with a grin as he opens it, and as he unwraps the tissue paper, he finds a card that says, "For us, our dream trip." He begins to see pictures stacked one on one, and as he removes them, first an airplane, then a convertible on a road with an ocean scene in the background, onto a beautiful hotel, and then 2 cards with golf courses. And next, there were scenes of amazing food and fine dining, pictures of tourist shopping, a couple walking down the beach at sunset, and then sitting on the balcony in bathrobes, drinking coffee and having breakfast. And then once that last picture was removed, he would see $8,000 stacked in cash, enough to cover the entire trip. So hang with me, almost there. When work became hard, I pictured not only that Christmas morning, but what it would feel like to head out on the trip with him. So I began to picture us all packed, standing at the front door, you know, with that last glance behind you to make sure you've turned off all the lights. We're in the car, headed to the airport. We park, we pull out our luggage, we walk through TSA, chuckling that we are actually headed to Hawaii. We land and we pick up the convertible and we drive to the hotel with the top down. Can't you feel the warm breeze and smell the ocean water mixed with tropical flowers? So we valet park and we walk in and we're greeted with a lei around our neck. And we head up to the room with a look of amazement at the gorgeous oceanfront room. We open the balcony French doors and we feel that tropical breeze rush in, and we walk out and gaze at the ocean. And then he turns to me and smiles and says, "This is perfect. Thank you." Okay, you can open your eyes. So that vision began to unfold when I got quiet after that meeting. It was a dream trip for the man that I adored. The vision was specific and it was real. I created it so I could feel the emotion as I worked, because let's be real, life happens and it's really easy to get distracted. And I knew I needed help and accountability. So as I began to work, I figured I might as well throw my heart over the line and actually work full circle for pretty much the first time ever in my life. And I chose to not quiet the whisper any longer that said it's time for directorship. So it took the swelling moment of giving my husband a trip to go all in. There was no plan B. That was the gift that I wanted. And I knew to get there, I would need to work different. And by working differently, I might as well add working the way Mary Kay Ash herself asked us to. Full circle for me meant offering this opportunity to others. It was the one piece that I never did all those years. It was time to offer others a place to dream, to be encouraged and fulfill whatever was simmering inside, waiting to emerge. So looking back, even though I had achieved national quota sales for consecutive years, I actually didn't view myself as successful. So I created this subconscious thought of, how could I share the opportunity of what's available if I wasn't taking advantage of all the opportunities available? I had made sharing the opportunity about me and not them, and the possibilities that awaited their life. So all those years, there were countless women that truly could have benefited from being in the pink bubble. And I think so often we look at women in Mary Kay. Many of you were just at seminar and all the women walking the stage and having all the bars and like all the things. And you're like, I couldn't possibly be her. Well, that's actually a really good thing, because there is only one you, and you are who is needed. You become the best version of you when you lean into your present. If you're enjoying servicing your clients, lean into the best version of you while you do it. If you're a senior consultant, a red jacket, a DIQ, or a director, and desire more than where you are, lean into the best version of you daily. So when your next presents itself, you won't quiet that whisper. It's knowing if today you are at 80%, and you give a full 80%, that's your 100% today. And if tomorrow you're at 35%, but you give your full 35, that's your 100, your best. So some seasons are hard. It doesn't mean that you aren't capable of leaning into your best self while you navigate it. So back to my story. In addition to that crystal clear vision, I decided to step up how I worked my business from a strategic perspective. I had always believed if I treated my business like a business, it would pay me like a business. If I respected it, others would as well. I know some throw around pink hobby or playing Mary Kay wording, and on one hand, I totally get it. However, for a while, that terminology really got to swim in my brain, and it did a disservice because I didn't respect my business because I viewed myself as less than. So I'm here to tell you, if you have one client and you do your very best to service her as you'd want to be serviced, that you have a business. So start thinking like a businesswoman. Your mindset, your confidence will increase. So I know we may be running out of time, so I'm going to run through some strategy pretty quick. So as you finish up your current month strongly, begin to forecast and plan the following month. So when the first comes, you're ready to roll. Once the company email comes out, your unit or your area emails are released, and you know what minor tweaks need to be made because of whatever new is being shared. So that includes setting up the following month with appointments as you wrap up your current month. This was really a learned skill for me. Like, how do I weave those two together? And give yourself grace as you do it, because it's going to look different for everybody and every month. So first, what do I want for my business? Let's go ahead and take September. What do I want from my business in September? This can be part of your yearly or quarterly goals, but be specific. I am talking about September. What's the specific income amount you want? Number of new team members, and number of new faces. Second, what star level are you aiming for first quarter? This is important because first quarter sets up all quarter star and the extra bonus points at year end. How far away am I? How can I break that down? How can I incorporate that into the goals that I set above? So get into your reports. There are so many great ways to view your business from a strategic place and remove the emotion. I don't know about you, but I can get awful emotional about my business, right? If you look at your reports, it helps remove the emotion of where you are and where you want to be. And one place, super easy place that you can view is under My Business at a Glance. And there's a tab called Opportunities, and it will give you like next steps to shoot for in a couple of categories. And then once you hit those, it will give you the next, like how far away at any given moment from company contest and promotions. 3, how many new faces or reorders will I need to make that above income goal happen? Do you know your face average or your reorder average? And if not, use the company averages. 4, what's your social media strategy? How can I grow my business online this month? If you are someone who uses social media, how can I show up authentically? Are there some national days I can use to incorporate for marketing? Is there a new product launch, product of the month, sample of the month, new catalog coming out? Like, all of this is happening in September. So it's just a great way to incorporate this into your strategy. So how can I show my life in ways that are authentic and help my audience get to know me and my skills and what I have to offer that fills a need while being relatable? 5, how will I incorporate the new faces, reorders, and social media strategy? How will I lead generate? Am I passing out, skincare bags? Is there a specific number? Look at the schedule that your unit or your national area has for events, where you can plug in guests. Will you be holding your own appointments? Get specific in where the people get to go. 6, am I running any promotions personally? Am I taking advantage of Monica's special deals? Now, we don't have time to go into the numbers, but let's just say when I started incorporating Monica's special deals flyers, I began to not only finish National Court of Sales months before. Girls, I would slide in on like June 28th, right? I'm now finishing it in March. I'm just saying it makes a difference, and it has helped increase my income over the years with those specific clients, apart from the scaling of new. So what promotions am I running? What promotions has Mary Kay released for the month or like the 2 months, our current makeover contest? Does our unit or national area have promotions? So how can I take all these promotions and filter them into my income and my face goals and do it seamlessly for what's already available for touch points to work smarter, not harder? 7. I know I need to speed this up. Do I know what my customer birthdays are for the month? Am I offering a special gift or promotion? But the biggie is, does this support my monthly goals that I stated above, as well as make my clients feel appreciated? And I'm going to give one example. If my income goal grew this month, and let's just say I have 15 customer birthdays, and I normally give a 15% discount, and I know that my reorder average is 100, I've now reduced my sales by 225 and my income by 112.50. So if I reduce that, and let's say I'm going to give a $10 gift card, my income reduction is now only 75. But maybe I begin to work away from a discount, and let's just say I share a mini sample, those fabulous minis that would help my clients go deeper and wider, but it's a free gift, which would equate to future income. So let's just say the cheapest mini we have, I believe, is the Satin Body line at $1.50. Times 15 clients is a total cost of only $26.50. That's not a $75 reduction in my income. That's $26.50. If only half purchased the Satin Body Lotion in a future month from that $1.50 sample, that's an $80 increase in my income the first time they bought it. So let's say they purchase 4 in a year. That's an extra $320 in income and $640 in sales. I'll end that one there. 8, am I running a sample of the month? And does my website free gift with $40 support this or complement it? And do I even have one? And it's okay if you don't. But do these options correlate to Mary Kay's product of the month spotlight that they automatically receive in the beauty news? And am I tag teaming that monthly spotlight in my social media strategy at all? 9, how many touch points do I have with my clients in a month? Is the Mary Kay Beauty News part of it? Because that's a super crazy easy one. Do I have a newsletter or a way of connecting with my clients throughout the month, whether I call them, text them, or email them? And depending on your client base, you may get through it, like every 6 or 8 weeks. I'm not saying every month everybody gets a touch point, but I am saying, is there a way, Pam Shaw talks about this a lot, that we take a large voice and then we dial it in? So is there a way that all of my clients can hear from me at least once a month, and then I can dial it in from there, depending on, is it time for a reorder? Is it time for a birthday? All right, number 10. Do I have my month work and family commitments on the calendar so I even know when I can weave in Mary Kay? Number 11, because we're looking at September, have I begun to look at my holiday selling strategy? 12, have you printed tracking sheets to keep you focused? And do those tracking sheets include follow-up for samples that you've given? Because we lose a lot when we don't follow up. Last one, number 13, do you use the 6 most important lists to help break down your week into manageable pieces? Are you setting yourself up for daily and weekly wins that move into the monthly, quarterly, and yearly? So that's kind of the business planning piece. And when we finish that, we've got a track to run on. So when we get in front of our clients, we can be about them and their needs. because we've done all the behind the scenes work and now we get to enjoy the people piece. And then last but not least, what could get in the way of achieving my goal this month? Thinking ahead helps us not accept the drop everything mentality because, gracious, I don't know how long that has been me. Is there a trip or a holiday next month? Is there family coming in town? If one of my kids gets sick, right? So start problem solve ahead of time so we've got a strategy. And I'm not saying that there aren't times that we hit the pause button. I'm just saying from my own experience, it is super easy to fall into putting something on the back burner that doesn't need to be on the back burner and actually means a great deal to us. So maybe it's a pivot that keeps our business running, or a short pause or a reschedule, a different way to work, or readjust. However, it keeps you, the business owner, in charge and not our circumstances. When we keep our word to ourselves, it is magical and it builds trust with ourselves. And then it's a whole new ballgame. So I'll wrap up here. Your goal needs a deadline, and that's where the urgency comes in. Working for it when you don't feel like it, working for it when the obstacles come, working for it when it's not always convenient, but you have to make it happen anyway. It doesn't mean you work 24/7. It means you make a plan, then you work the plan. And then I almost forgot that whole working full circle piece does work. Mary Kay knew what she was doing. I debuted as a car driving director August 1st of 2020 during the shutdown when I was fully virtual. And the thing that kept me going was that vision, because it wasn't going to be Christmas Eve and not having that gift to give my husband. Because remember, there was no plan B. Many have asked, did you end up going to Hawaii? And what was it like? Was it just like your vision? Well, we haven't been, due to many unforeseen circumstances. However, we were able to use that money to make some other very, very special dreams come true. So making a decision to trust the process and work for something that was heart's-keeping, oh my gosh, could I really do this kind of stretch, really was life-changing in many ways. And not only showed me that I was capable, but my 3 girls, who at the time were 19 to 25. And in many ways, who I grew to become during the process showed them what resilience and intention looks like, so they too could have the freedom to believe in achieving their dream. So when we're nervous or scared, it's not that we aren't capable. It's just that we've never done it before. So whose dream is tied to your yes? Whose dream is tied to your yes that you haven't met yet? So throw your heart over the line. That, my friends, is what taking in all the possibilities await look like. So I encourage you to take some time to dream a little or dream a lot, but go dream.
Oh my gosh, that was sensational, my friend. I love that. I cannot wait to get this recording out to everybody. And listen, sometimes our life does things, but just think what you were able to do with that. Maybe you didn't go to Hawaii, like you said, but it was able to make, I don't know, God just knew it needed to be there to make something else happen. And so I really believe in that, right? And doesn't mean that's not going to happen. It just means that was the story then, right? And we get to change our story all the time. And so thank you so much for sharing with us today. And so motivational. Does anybody have any questions? Or we have a couple of minutes that we could, anything you want to say to Alex? Is there something you took away that you're really like, oh my gosh, this was, sometimes I always say the student is, the teacher will appear when the student's ready, right? And so I loved everything. You'll have to unmute too if there's something you have a question about, because, well, I muted you all. Oh, I love it stuff in the chat. I don't know if you're able to look at that, Alex.
I am. It's wonderful. Thank you, ladies.
Hey, I don't want to miss him. I'm trying to scroll through my phone, make sure I'm not. If there's anybody that has a question or anything they want to say.
Alex, I'll say something. You need to be affirmed. That that is amazing. You are amazing. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard of somebody being in the company, you said 24 years before you moved up at all. I mean, I can't wait to share your story with our unit. And I know we have a couple of unit members on today, so, and they always take good notes. So they'll be able to share a lot of your story. So just thank you so much. I just had to say something.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Hi, this is Miriam. I just wanted to say I love that you suggest for us to strategize when we're having something coming up. I actually have family and other trips coming in and I'm going out, and I don't think I ever thought about how to navigate around the disruption. And that's really helpful because it's going to be September, October, and November for us. So I can look ahead. That's really, really valuable. I love that.
That's great. I'm glad that was a takeaway, because that was big for me, you know? It's
Yep.
just thinking ahead prevents the pullback.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, yes, all the yeses. Okay, I'm just looking through chat real quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, Alex.
And I see, and yes, I will post my 13. Now they'll be in my shorthand, so give me a day or so to kind of make them not quite shorthand. I will send those to Jennifer to put in I guess the PDF version.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I can do that. We'll post it over the weekend, I'm sure. All right, ladies. So I hope you have an incredible Thursday. It got you fired up for the next fabulous part of this weekend coming. And we are all going to do amazing, amazing things. Thank you so much, Alex. Hope you all have an amazing day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.